Rabbi, before we get off this subject of what to vote for, how to vote, what about what's going on in America, I have seen in America the scariest change that I've ever seen. Not just in the sinning America, the church America. And I'm talking about gospel pastors. And when I say gospel, preach what they call the full gospel. People that are Baptists, people who are all different denominations. And they are preaching, Jesus, you must be born again. They're preaching about Jesus. But they are standing in their pulpits and they are naming the candidates. And this is in elections past as well as now. And they are telling their people from the pulpit to vote for someone who is totally in favor of abortion.
This is a time of testing, our testing.
Yeah.
When you look at, what did Messiah say? He said, you are the salt of the earth, you are the light of the world. Well, what happens if the salt loses its saltiness and the light doesn't shine? Well, the salt doesn't preserve and everything becomes rotten, and if the light doesn't shine, everything becomes dark. Well, you can't have one without the other. If America is going so rapidly to darkness and cultural rottenness, then it must mean that the church as a whole is not being the light and the salt it was called to be. Cannot be any other way. Cannot possibly, doesn't mean everybody, but it means a large scale. We have witnessed in our prosperity, we've witnessed a turning of the gospel away from focusing on God to focusing on us. Focusing, what can God do for us? And in our own confines, the culture's going to hell, but God is here to make you more successful. He's here to be your personal counselor, your trainer. Well, that's not who God is. Yes, God will bless, but God is God. We are his worshipers,
Yeah.
So this thing it's kind of, one of the signs of judgment is when the righteous are of no effect. And that's what we are watching. You cannot have the floodgates open if the watchmen were doing their job. Some of it's the culture, but some of it's the church. So that is part. It's not everybody. There are a lot of righteous people. At the same time, there's also a lot of righteous people who are very scared and they don't want to say anything. They don't want to stick their neck out because they don't want a lawsuit. They don't want to be castigated. They don't want to be called a bigot. But it's cowardice. We cannot. There's no time for being a coward here.
Right.
We have to stick our neck out, or every neck will go off. It's time for courage.
Right.
God calls us to be courageous. This is, again, the gray is going, and so you're either going all out or all out one way or the other. Might as well go all out for what is good.
Right.
Might as well go, forget the brakes, go completely out, because that's what the days are required. This is our test, and you're going to see who stands. When everything's gray, you don't see it all. When the test comes, that's when you see people where they were really at.
So true.
And churches as well.
Yeah.